to another video. Today is episode 6 of the series, and it's been a few big changes. There's been a few big changes off camera that I haven't told you guys. So there's just a fact for you. Alright, so first of all, the Spanish Empire thing is like here. Well, yeah, it kind of formed its own alliance. So yeah, it leaves, and that kind of doesn't really. The Germans don't really like that. So I mean, like, obviously, and Spain is really completely surrounded. But they get support from the USA over here, the big old USA, who allows them to hold off their own when Germany invades. Yeah, Germany invades the second this new government forms. That's the really classic Germany. Yeah, okay. So troops cross the border with Spanish troops making a frontier, but this allows the Germans to surround other Spanish troops, which is quite bad for the Spaniards. Yeah, obviously they surrender, and now the Germans are basically in like full control. So yeah. Anyways, go to my Patreon. Like, actually go to my Patreon, please. So now Germans slowly and surely they stop pushing into Spain, and they start to surround this area of Catalonia. Yeah. And Barcelona is nearly surrounded before a relief force is sent and slowly starts to and destroys the army in a surroundment. And now there's another encirclement with German troops surrendering after they realize that they're kind of like dead. So now the borders are basically the same, other than a few minor changes. But now there's a big turnaround as the Spaniards start pushing in, and they manage to take Toilos and the areas surrounding it. Yeah. And now they're gonna march on to Marseille, which they do in rapid succession, and then they take Marseille, and yeah. Yeah, okay, so Marseille falls, and now the Germans will quickly retreat, but wouldn't really surrender. Let's say they don't surrender. Yeah. Yeah, sorry about this. I'm not very good at like containing it. So say it's like that. Alright. That's better. So now they attempt to stop the Spaniards pushing in, but they're very unsuccessful, with Spanish troops marching into Germany, because most of the German troops are either over here, where they're basically threatened by Russia, because Russia's still a major power even after the German invasion, which I'm pretty sure was off camera. So yeah. So now they would start making some naval landings in Sardinia, in Corsica, because Corsica is owned by Germany, even though it doesn't look like it. And Italy would join the war, but this would just provoke Spain to take it and take Sardinia and start launching troops down into Sicily. series was really popular a while ago, but now it just kind of deteriorated. So I want to know why though. I want to ask why. So I take this area over here, and that would provoke the rest of Sicily to surrender. And now Italy is in a bit of a, you know, weird situation. Do they surrender or do they keep fighting? Because if they surrender, this big Germany here is going to attack them. But if they surrender, that means that Spain will probably take all of Naples, all of the two Sicily land for themselves. So they just stay there and don't really do anything. And yeah, now Spain keeps pushing on. They push and push until there's finally an actual, you know, treaty. Spain takes all the lands over here. That's all Spain now. What just happened? I don't know what happened. Okay, that was weird. And they take all that land over here. They take all those lands, and since the North African Federation were funding them, they are gonna take quite a bit of land from them too. So yeah, Spain is just going to a superpower. It's so strong and stuff. And yeah. So now in Africa, like the North African Federation would make, with troops mainly in Algeria, would now declare war on Mali, and so they so that means about 50,000, you could say, North African troops would start advancing to Mali, cutting off the area, which will quickly surrender, and Mali is getting completely surrounded. This southern area of Mali will be encircled and cut into half, and slowly they will surrender too. Now Mali is nearly completely destroyed by simple cowardice. So now the troops are gonna cut off the north, which would surrender, and the south will surrender, and like they did it before, they fully annex Mali. Their aim goal is to create a united Africa. So yeah. But by doing that, they can't just provoke all these other nations to declare war. But obviously they don't, and neither would give away some northern lands for peace. So yeah, they gave all that land away for peace. You know, they won't really prosper. Alright, so now you've got a very strong country here, quite a strong country here, and you just got this big blob of a country here, and you got this like Crete, Cyprus, like union, you could say. So yeah. Now Pakistan, oh, it doesn't exist. I forgot Pakistan doesn't exist. Okay, so the Safavid or whatever they are would declare war on India, and a bit of Safavid troops would start launching an attack over here, capturing lands, and some troops cut off the entirety of this northern area, which would quickly surrender, and even more troops would start attacking, and China would also send some troops, cutting that off too, which would surrender quickly. Now India is in big trouble, especially when a large column of troops start advancing onto Delhi. They managed to surround Delhi, but the Indian troops will not give up their capital city and push them back quite far. And they would even launch their own attack, driving deep into the enemy troops and retaking back some lands. Once they retake some lands then, guys, they take those lands too. And now Pakistan has taken some lands. Like, they're doing relatively well. It's just that India is advancing again, which isn't good for Pakistan. So they would launch an attack and cut off this peninsula over here. They would cut it off, and it wouldn't really surrender. But after a long while of fighting and thousands of deaths, they would surrender. So now India is in trouble, especially when a small amount of Myanmar troops, I forgot, they don't exist yet. For the Chinese troops would start an invasion over here and cut off this eastern part of India, which would quickly surrender along with this part here too. And Bhutan would surrender, and Bangladesh would fight to the end, but eventually, well, not really to the end, but they'll fight as long as they could before they're forced to surrender. China annexes all of this land. They annex it all because China, obviously, they would do that. I'm pretty sure. I don't know, okay, but still, it makes more sense for them to annex it. China is a very strong country now. It's way stronger than the United States of America. Now, India is kind of like this small country here. And this is made worse when Pakistani troops finally go and kind of like take Delhi in this area, take Delhi and march up, and this area would surrender, and troops would start advancing there, and that area would surrender. And it's bad when, boom, nuke. Yeah, Pakistan launched a nuke. Now India would quickly be pushed into, and they would eventually surrender. Nepal would surrender. So yeah, I like to show like the step-by-step border making. So yeah, watch the borders I made. Alright, so we've nearly done the borders, and this is what the borders will look like. India is basically split in two, but Sri Lanka is left alone, and this is like a puppet state. Actually, no, Sri Lanka will become part of China. Actually, no, because they become part of that vassal state. Alright, so yeah, it's all-out war now, and obviously with all-out war comes all-out warfare. So yeah, Pakistani troops cross into Turkmenistan, cutting them off relatively quickly and forcing them to surrender. The peace treaty, yeah, full annexation. China is like tired of fighting now, but this area would quickly choose to surrender rather than fight. And yeah, the cowards, I'm telling you, they're all cowards. Okay, or they're doing a smart decision though, really. Alright, so now, usually that is Kyrgyzstan would surrender. If that wasn't Kyrgyzstan and I'm just humiliated. But, I mean, like, seriously, Russia, you don't want to border with Russia, but they agree to give away some of their lands in exchange for peace. By some of their lands, I mean like this. Yeah, exactly that. So they do. Yeah, all that land land now belongs to the Safavid Empire. But Risen from the Dead, I think it's more the Achaemenid Empire. Oh no, because of that. So if you guys are liking the video, just subscribe. And yeah, we're trying to hit at least 30 by the end of next month. So if we could do that would make my day, really. So yeah, and so that'd be good. So now here in the turn of events, they agreed to become a Russian, get annexed by Russia for safety purposes. That's safety purposes because they're actually going to be safe by Russia. Do not trust Russia, folks. They seriously don't trust Russia. Unless it's a Russia that's allied with the United States, just don't trust them. So yeah, this is what's going on right now. It's a big. Okay, you could say that. How do I say this? The Axis have a big advantage, like a very big advantage. Like why this? Well, here's a rebellion. Everyone likes rebellions. Not everyone does, obviously, but still, it's nice to say that. A rebellion starts in Brazil, a democratic rebellion, and they would start spreading rapidly around the country, attracting new followers, and they would eventually connect with each other. More would become how do I say this? I just call that part Northern Uruguay, okay? I just call it Northern Uruguay just for the sake of it. And by the way, I got a brand new PC. Well, not new PC, I just got a new monitor, but still. It's still cool, okay? This area would surrender quite quickly, and this area is kind of like already controlled by rebels, just not occupied. But they would surrender too, and eventually the entire, Axis government surrenders, and in return there's a nice, peaceful Brazil. And after that, they immediately annex these three countries and provoke a large-scale war in the South Americas. Yeah, I'm serious. The rest of this video will be dedicated on this war. This will probably last like 5 minutes. So right now, Brazilian troops will cross into Uruguay, and they would quickly and swiftly take Montevideo. Yeah, and they would take that, and Uruguay would surrender. Talk about not fighting their own wars. And now they're advancing to Paraguay, with their troops cutting them off quite quickly, and they surrendering. Well, much resistance I was going to say, but there was definitely tons of resistance. So now troops would advance into Bolivia, cutting off the north, with troops coming out to the even more north and connecting with the other troops, and this land would surrender, and troops would start advancing south, which they reach within a few months. This would make Bolivia surrender, and there's an agreement between Chile or something like that, whatever. So Chile would completely annex the rest of the territories. So yeah, there's a compromise. Well, Chile is like on the bad guy side, so I don't really think they'd want to cooperate with their fellow South Americans. I don't think they'd want to cooperate whatsoever. Well, if they want land, they'll get land. And since they want land, they'll get it. See, there's a thick Chile now. I'm even more North Chile. That's an action. And since they got like an alliance, they allow Chile to get this imaginary area over here when they take Peru, and which they do in a matter of weeks. Yeah, Peru is very weak in this alternate future. Yeah, and they surrender because they know they would never be able to defeat the Brazilians. They just know they would never be able to defeat them. They know it. They're actually smart. Smarter than most people, at least. No offense to those most people I was talking about. So yeah. So you could say that I do not know anything. Yeah, you can definitely say that. I don't really care, to be honest. Oh, Merry Christmas! Like, I did it way too late. Like, I spent my entire time using my Nintendo instead of doing work. So, yeah, sorry for that. I'm probably gonna do some editing on this video just because I want to. And now there's only Argentina would like kind of like make surrender, make like a union. Oh, okay, no. Like a union, something like that, whatever. They're literally like united into one nation. This way they'll be united. I think they is to give up the fight and surrender. And they'll be charged and executed for their war crimes. I'm joking. But they probably will, to be honest. This time Brazil is very unforgiving. Well, it's very very unforgiving. And there's literally a united South America. They're gonna easily sweep the enemy. So yeah, that will end the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. So just, here was 2 easy steps. Subscribe and like the video, and that would make my day. So do that, and I will see you in the next video.